Today I did a different type of harvest, and this time it was compost. So even if you're not a gardener, stick around because I bet I can teach you something. I practice hot composting, which is a bit more effort because you have to turn the compost heap often, but the heat means I can add anything to my compost, including leaves that are affected by blight or diseases. The heat also makes it a perfect place for animals to sleep in overnight when it's cold. I often find holes like this made by animals burrowing down, and it's literally a playground for my cats who try and catch them. To harvest the compost, my husband's built me this structure made out of 4x2s and a bit of chicken wire over the top. It's basically a massive sieve, and it makes it easier for me to remove any bigger sticks or any rubbish I find. Plastic is inevitable in my compost bin. Compostable food bags take so long to break down, and it's really interesting what other things from the kitchen I find. This was a coconut shell I ate 2 years ago. Peanut shells also take a really long time to break down, and so apparently does a mango seed. I try to collect as much green and brown material as I can, often getting it from my neighbours or local cafes. The two most easy ingredients to find for the compost are grass clippings and autumn leaves. I then found one of the worst things I could possibly find in my compost bin. These polystyrene balls which break up into a million tiny little pieces. Whoever ever suggested we need to put these in the bottom of our pots to help with drainage needs to be put in prison. Anyway, this compost is now perfect to go in my beds, even though there's still some bigger clumps in there. But I do want some of it to boost my seed sowing mixture, so I need to put it through an even finer sieve. Honestly, the amount of gloves I get through from pushing all the compost through sieves like this, RIP my nails, because I can never ever have nice nails. I mix in perlite, which helps with drainage, and that's the white bits you can see. And we're ready to sow some seeds. These are all the seeds I'm sowing mid-July, mostly for my winter and spring harvests. If you want to be harvesting purple sprouting broccoli in March or maybe even February, you need to sow it right now. I use the rest of the compost to top up one of my main beds, and I also mixed in some chicken manure pellets, which are my go-to slow release fertilizer for the vegetable garden. Homemade compost isn't perfect looking like shop bought stuff, and you will find things like eggshells and other stuff that's broken down, but it's perfectly fine to use. I really want to encourage everyone to try making their own compost piles. You don't have to put as much effort into it as I do and make it hot. You can just leave it alone and it will still compost, just a bit slower. I don't make enough though, so I do still buy in bags of compost from the garden centre, but I mix in my homemade compost almost like a fertilizer, and look, the plants just speak for themselves. Thanks so much for watching. Like and follow for more.